Hey guys, it's Danny, welcome to my channel. For today we have a quick review of Yonex Poly Tour Spin string. I thought it would be quite exciting to try it in the newest Yonex Ezone 98, slightly customized. Obviously the fastest, easiest comparison would be bringing a competitive string from other brand, and that would be Solinco Turbite. I once tried Poly Tour Spin before. It was like 10 years ago. I tried it in a Wilson Blade 98 V5 1820. Back then my first thoughts were that the string is stiff, a bit wiry, boardy, not that much response out of the string, not really that much spin potential, but I use it in a very dense string pattern. So Yonex Ezone 98 is a totally different animal. Maybe Ezone 98 will bring the best out of the Poly Tour Spin, or maybe they will complement each other really well, because I see Poly Tour Spin mainly as a contra-oriented string. Not much bite, I would say. In general, I would say Yonex strings are quite original on the market in terms of feel and how they grab the ball. I tried Poly Tour Pro, Poly Tour Spin, Poly Tour Strike, Poly Tour Ref, Poly Tour Force. Strike supposedly discontinued and to be replaced by Poly Tour Force. So far my favorite string from Yonex would be Poly Tour Force. My least favorite is Poly Tour Pro. Rackets that I use with Poly Tour Pro, yeah, they become more comfortable, but the launch, I'm losing the ball too fast. So this is a trap with Poly Tour Pro. It gives you comfort, it gives you some sense of pocketing. The spin potential isn't the best. The added power, it's hard to control with not so much help in spin potential. Poly Tour Spin, in some ways, it is the fastest remedy, right? But from my experience, it is still lacking in spin potential. Let's take, for example, Solinco Turbite. I think it grabs the ball and releases the ball with much more spin, but it comes with a potential risk of shooting the ball a bit too high. Turbite, when it loses tension, it grabs the ball and shoots out a bit too high. The launch angle increases to the point where I no longer feel the ball. In that sense, Poly Tour Spin is better. The response is much more linear. The feel of the ball is much harder, stiffer. In a way, it would make sense to drop tension with Poly Tour Spin, to let the string move a bit more, to let it breathe a bit more, but then maybe the power will kick in. So maybe the best would be take example of Root, make a hybrid of Poly Tour Spin with Poly Tour Pro, so you can still use it at higher tensions and let the mains move a little bit more with the round crosses, meaning Poly Tour Pro. We know that Root uses 130 gauge of Poly Tour Pro. Maybe he wanted even more control, because 125, yeah, it is quite responsive. But of course, another option, sometimes sticking to something simple is the best way, and just adjust the tension. Seen already some players using full bed of Poly Tour Spin, but at lower tensions. I use it at 23 kilos. Maybe I should have gone 21 or maybe 22, 21. In general, I would say Poly Tour Spin suits Ezone quite well, because Ezone is muted on its own and has a lot of natural power. The power is very linear, so it's not like you're losing the ball and it shoots out upwards. Poly Tour Spin, yeah, it's boardy, low powered, but still shoots pretty low. So I think, yeah, it's a great potential combination. Is it the best string I used in the Ezone? Not really. So far, the best string I used in the Ezone 98 was Laxalon Alu Power Soft. I haven't tried the regular Alu Power, so my story is to be continued. Maybe I'll try Alu Power Rough. Maybe I will try Solinco Mach 10 130 and Laxalon Original. Altmaier, I know, uses Laxalon Original in the Ezone. Seems really interesting. And the question is, do you need 130 gauge in the Ezone, because in general it produces a very linear ball. Maybe you don't need as much control in terms of the response. Maybe you just need to add more spin potential to it, but I still think the best way to go would be through a round string to keep the benefits and positives that Ezone is offering, meaning a very connected feel in terms of the throw from the racket. And round strings in general are the most honest strings. Biggest obstacle I find with the round strings is sometimes you lose some of the initial spin potential. So on defense, where you just flick the wrist up, you're not getting as much kick, so potentially a bit harder on defense. Compared to other strings from Yonex, I would say it is still slightly stiffer than the Poly Tour Rev, Poly Tour Strike, and probably Poly Tour Force. So maybe the stiffest string from Yonex in terms of feel at least. But yeah, in terms of control, it is similar to Poly Tour Force. Poly Tour Force also shoots in a very predictable linear way, but it is a round string, and therefore I think I put it above Poly Tour Spin. Poly Tour Spin is just a board, not so much of this hugging sensation that you're getting out of Poly Tour Strike or Poly Tour Pro, but Poly Tour Pro gives this trampoline effect. Poly Tour Strike doesn't. Poly Tour Spin, in a sense, much more traditional string in terms of the sensation while hitting the ball. I would prefer a slightly better response out of the Poly Tour Spin, more of this hugging effect, but at the same time the biggest competitor, meaning Solinco Turbite, still it is a very traditional string. It loses tension too fast for me and I lose control too fast. Control of the launch angle. But if I had to choose between Solinco Turbite and Yonex Poly Tour Spin, I would choose Solinco Turbite, basically because the initial response when the string is fresh is better. It produces a heavier ball. It's easier to shape the ball without losing the control. You just have to restring it a bit faster. So yeah, that's it for this short review, and make sure to subscribe, helps the channel a lot, and see you soon. Bye bye.